see what I got here.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Okay.
Great news.
No! Am I being abducted or what? Ah, tornado incoming, tornado incoming. Welcome to today's video. Let's take a look at some tornado alarms. Before we start, please go and donate. This is just my recommendations from what I've found. It's Ryan Hall Y'all's, the YouTube channel. He has a non-profit organization that helps people that has been affected by tornadoes. And as we've seen so much extreme weather right now, please go and donate. If you can just spare $1, I think it means a lot. But please make sure to do your own research. Donate to the charity that you prefer, of course. But the link for this one is down below. This one was suggested by Fernando because apparently he talked in my live and he said that this is scary, the emergency alert systems. But let's get into today's video by Swaggle Student. And again, here at Halftime Noel, we love Swaggle Studios. So please go ahead and click the link below and subscribe to his channel as well. Let's ask you, please subscribe. All right, please subscribe. Oh, okay. Don't subscribe. Let's go.
Youth. Okay, so back in the day, I want to tell you a true story from my youth. Okay, so back in the day,
am I recording?
I used to go to bed and I'd fall asleep with the TV on. I was afraid. I want to tell you a true story from my youth. Okay, so back in the day, I used to go to bed and I'd fall asleep with the TV on.
Can you guys fall asleep with the TV on? I've never been able to.
I was afraid of ghosts and stuff. It doesn't matter, all right? I was sleeping soundly, so cozy in my bed, when I was suddenly awoken by this.
No, you haven't.
I had a freaking meltdown in my bed. I was so freaked out. And on top of that, the sirens started going off, so you had like the siren sounding.
That's it, guys. Let's end the video here. America is literally the scariest country there is out there. It really is. But I get the point of them, because we've talked and seen about this. If you're late to be notified by a tornado, it's detrimental. So this is good.
And on top of that, the sirens started going off, so you had like the sirens sounding and this robotic voice saying all these weird things, and it was a terrifying experience.
Oh my
Everything
God,
was fine.
traumatic.
We went down the basement and the guy was like, never mind. It was just a little rotation. It's fine. Go back to bed. But yeah.
Do each and every one of you have a storm protection basement?
Yeah. Emergency alerts, they're pretty intense. These alerts are specifically designed to get your attention, and that's why the noise is so scary. It's supposed to be. If it was some happy little harp noise, no one would pay attention to that. If I was just sleeping there and all of a sudden,
tornado emergency, please go to the basement.
I wouldn't wake up. Are you joking me? For safety.
That is true. That is true. Yeah. I mean, it has to be somewhat of traumatic to wake people up and so on.
Reasons, emergency alerts need to be terrifying.
How often are they tested though?
And today, we're actually going to do a deep dive into the history of emergency alerts. We're going to look at the scariest alerts. We're going to look at other alerts from other countries. We're going to look at rare alerts. That's what we're talking about.
I love this. I love this. This will be so fun.
Let's get into it.
The intro is on point.
It is now time for a Soil Studios history lesson. Let me take you back to August 29th, 1949. The Soviet Union had just tested their first atomic bomb, RDS-1. Between 1945 and 1949, the United States were the only country with atomic bomb capabilities. During those 4 years, the US had more power than any country ever, because they could literally just destroy an entire city like that if they wanted to, all right? But that would change in 1949 when the Soviet Union was like, we also have atomic bombs. A new atomic power had entered the chat, thus beginning the Cold War.
This is scary. This is scary. Where is he going with this?
Stockpiles rose along with tensions, and the US knew they needed a way to notify every citizen in the event of an atomic attack. Enter the Civil Defense Administration in 1950.
Oh, sorry about that. Maybe that's the thing. I said we only have alert system that goes for war, but maybe this is what your one was intended to be for as well, but you ended up using it for tornadoes as well.
It was FCDA's job to protect every citizen in the event of World War III, and they did this by putting in a number of measures, including fallout shelters, civil defense sirens, my favorite being the Federal Signal Thunderbolt, as well as a broadcast system known as CONELRAD. CONELRAD is like the grandfather of the modern EAS. So what even is it? Well, it's more of an emergency broadcast station and less of an emergency alert. Essentially, in the event of an atomic attack, all radio stations would interrupt normal programming and tell the listener to tune to the special CONELRAD stations of 6:40 or 12:40 a.m. It was on these stations where the listener would then get vital information on the current situation. The reason for there being two stations was actually because the listener would have to switch between the two every few minutes. This was meant to throw off any attacker from trying to crack into the system. I imagine back in the day, back in the 50s, kids, they would...
Okay, interesting. CONELRAD. Do any one of you remember CONELRAD, or was it too long ago? Maybe it was.
Learn 911. Like every kid knows 911. But it wouldn't surprise me if they were also taught 12:40 a.m., 6:40 a.m. In fact, cars back in the day actually had to have special CONELRAD markings on their radio dials for the stations of 6:40 and 12:40. Let's go ahead and check
This is very interesting. This is not something that I know that we have in Sweden.
the CONELRAD station today. Let's see what's going on. I think we'll be all right. CONELRAD, it wasn't perfect. There were many false alarms. Lightning was kind of a hazard and it would mess things up all the time. And on top of that, CONELRAD was designed for enemy bombers, but bombers weren't really an issue anymore. The issue became ICBMs, missiles. Traditional bombers couldn't blow up every city at the same time, so time wasn't a huge deal, but with the introduction of ICBMs, time was now of the essence. You may only have 10 to...
Holy cow, this is really interesting. This is different to what we're usually watching.
15 minutes before the bombs hit. So the Federal Civil Defense Administration replaced CONELRAD with the Emergency Broadcast System, or EBS, in 1963. EBS is actually very similar to the modern EAS. In an event where the Emergency Broadcast System was needed, the President himself would send an Emergency Action Notification, or EAN, to all major TV and radio stations. They would then pause any broadcast and show the alert. The alert would start off with a creepy tone known as the attention signal.
HELP.
That's 37.
Oh, traumatic, traumatic. Now, how scary is that? It is good. It is good, definitely. It is scary, though. There's no point denying that. But I get the point. We have it here. We get every month. We have a trial every first Monday at 3 p.m. We have this alarm going around the city. And that one as well is pretty scary. But if you just look, oh shit, it's 3 p.m. and the time is 3 p.m. Then you know it's like, I'm guessing when you get these trials, you only wait for, this is just a test. Please be just a test. Please be just a test. Please be just a test. Oh my god!
These tones were engineered to be unnerving. They would achieve this by playing two tones, one at 853 Hz and one at 960 Hz. Put them together and you have the attention signal.
There it
Following
is.
the
This
alert
is only
signal,
a test.
A real-life person would then read off a script written to them from the president. There were two different scripts depending on how severe the emergency was. The first one was the white card message, aka EAN-1. This was just a general emergency declaration. Nothing too specific, but stay alert. Kind of like a tornado watch, but with atomic bombs. And there actually exists some pre-recordings of white card messages.
I don't know if I should ask this question now, but it popped out because some people have said that, these warnings are completely, you don't really care about them if it's just a warning. You really care when something really happens. Do you know what I mean?
This particular example comes from WGN in 1985. Take a listen.
We interrupt our program at the request of the White House. This is the emergency broadcast system. All normal broadcasting has been discontinued during the emergency. This station will continue to broadcast, furnishing news, official information, and instruction.
But how often did you have these signals? Like, what was the bare minimum to interrupt all TV shows? Do you like do you know what I mean again? But is it like, could it be a tornado? Could it just be bad weather? Where do you draw the line where you interrupt all the TV stations?
As soon as possible for the northeast section of Illinois.
The fact that we can listen to these is pretty wild. Like, they didn't know that YouTube was going to be a thing, so the man who recorded this thought if anyone heard it, it would be a serious situation. It's a bit unnerving to listen to for that reason. The red card script, or EAN2, meant that an attack was 100% happening. Unfortunately, there are no known TV pre-recorded scripts. However, there are a few pre-recorded scripts for radio.
Oh my god.
This one comes from Philadelphia radio station WFIL in the early 1970s. Take a listen.
The Office of Civil Defense has issued the following message. This is an attack warning. Repeat, this is an attack warning. Attack warning means that an actual attack against this country has been detected and that protective action should be taken. This is an emergency action notification. All broadcast stations shall broadcast emergency action notification message number 2, red card.
Essentially, yeah.
Wow, what do you do then?
Under attack, you need to get the heck out. Sirens would go off. They'd be doing the
look at all these sirens. Do you still have those? Are those real?
attack wail, which is when it goes up and down. Not a good situation. The emergency broadcast system was tested many times throughout the 1960s, 70s, and 80s, and a lot of kids were totally freaked out by these tests. Like, some of them are genuinely scarred, and they can be creepy.
A subscriber said that he is scarred. Fernando, he said he does not like this
Especially
signal.
if the test interrupts, like, a TV show meant for kids. Like, if you're watching Sesame Street and all of a sudden this happens.
Nightmare, scary, oh my god.
Those blood red letters. Yeah. A lot of TV stations had their own custom screens, and some of them were pretty chill, no big deal. But some of them were a bit sketch. In this first example, I don't know exactly what happened, but for some reason the attention signal is all messed up and distorted, and there's like this red screen. It's just weird. Take a look.
For the next 60 seconds, this station will conduct a test of the emergency broadcast system. This is only a test.
Oh my god, imagine you are sleepy and you wake up from this sound and this reddish background.
This next one's kind of creepy because someone recorded it with like a camcorder, and it just has like this kind of horror movie vibe to it.
I'm getting shivers. I am getting shivers. Whoa. This is a phenomenon I need to note down.
Also, I've heard from a lot of people that the logo itself, like the Civil Defense logo, the CD logo, they were actually afraid of the logo. They weren't afraid of anything else, but when that logo popped up, they were like, I feel like this next example has a pretty creepy Civil Defense logo. Check it out.
Ooh, yeah, this is like an evil cult logo almost.
I mean, it is kind of creepy. I don't know why, but it just looks kind of weird and ugh.
I
So
get
in
it.
the 60s, in the 70s, these kind of alerts were only meant for like World War III atomic warfare, like nuclear Armageddon. But people started thinking, what if we started using this for weather emergencies? Like, what if we took the sirens, the civil defense sirens, and used them as tornado sirens? What if we took EBS alerts and used them for weather? So in 1976, they started doing that. I think in large part, this was actually in response to the 1974 super outbreak that took 310 lives.
Wow.
And a lot of TV stations had their own weather emergency slides. Like, check out this tornado warning slide. Pretty cool, honestly.
That's really cool and also really creepy. And I think it does the scariness of the tornado well. Like, this is a serious situation. It's almost like a horror movie. What do you say? Front screen of a horror movie. I like this one. Let me save that one as well. 924.
Speaking of tornado warnings, tornado season is quickly approaching, and to get myself into the mood,
I think this is an ad, so I'm just going to skip over this.
So at the federal level, at the national level, there is EBS, but many different localities actually have their own warning alert systems. These are known as local access alerts, or emergency override systems. Sometimes local authorities know way more about a situation than the national government,
Right.
and if they need to inform the public, a local access alert is the best way to do it.
This is good. Now, this is really good because as we see, it's hard to keep track of every single state and every single weather outbreak that's going on. That's why we have the hundreds and maybe thousands of storm chasers on the field. So this is good because it's so easily missed, and we don't want to miss a tornado. We don't want to miss it.
Interesting about local access alerts is that they are different throughout the entire United States. Some of them are very chill, a simple tone, maybe a little Morse code, and some of them literally had alarms going off. I want to look at some of the creepier ones. Let's start off with this tornado watch in Sioux City.
Good, great news.
No! Am I being abducted or what?
This is the South Sioux City Police.
Definitely pretty strange.
Abducted.
That static screen and the weird UFO-y noises.
UFO-y.
This tritone one from St. Joseph, Missouri is also a bit sketch. Take a listen.
This is a weather bulletin from the St. Joseph Communications Center.
But that one was good, I think. That one was
Tornado
good.
watch is in
St. Joseph actually has a lot of weird ones. They had another one in 2003 that was just, take a listen to this. It's...
Oh my god! Oh my god! Okay, this is too much. Okay, I'm thinking from my perspective. I need to note this one as well. Total 17, this one I like. Because it's too loud, but you want it to be loud. You want all of the people that are home that maybe have the TV on in the background to hear it, because it's important news and we can't fail the citizens here. So I get it, but this one was the loudest one we've seen for sure, right? What do you think? Do you have any scary ones for me to watch as well? Oh my god, it continues. I need to watch everything in one piece. Oh my god. Holy cow.
Phase 1 of the emergency snow ordinance is now in effect. Vehicles must have chains or snow
This one is the creepiest so far. No doubt. No doubt.
tires off.
And perhaps the most startling is this local access alert from Yukon, Oklahoma in 1999. Take a listen.
Half a mile in front of us, getting ready to. What we'll do.
This is a Yukon Emergency Operations. We are.
So yes,
This one was creepy, but the second to last one, I think that was the most creepiest
very
one.
strange sounds indeed. But there was one sound that I have yet to mention, and that is this one.
Oh, Jesus. Oh my god. Holy cow.
This one to me is actually the creepiest.
It's not the creepiest to me, but it's definitely the loudest, and it's definitely the one that would get my attention like that.
This is the screeching sound that many are familiar with during a severe weather event. So what is this? This is known as SAME, or SAME, or Specific
SAME.
Area Message Encoding. These sounds are actually data bursts. So what the heck is a data burst? Well, that noise is the sound of a sequence of numbers containing vital information about a specific alert.
Really? Really?
This is who is sending the message. This is what is happening. This is who is affected. So these are like different counties and stuff. And this is the source that's sending the alert. The same sound was developed throughout the 80s and the 90s by the National Weather Service as a way to encode messages through tones. The creation of the same tone was a big deal, and at the same time,
That's
EBS was
impressive.
having some major
That is impressive. That's a cool invention. Who reads these messages though, and how do you decipher that small frequency difference?
issues. Many stations had terrible procedures, and there were inexperienced operators. The Cold War had ended. It was time for a change. And that change would come on January 1st, 1997, when the emergency broadcast system was replaced by the emergency alert system, or EAS.
This is the one they have now.
There's a lot of benefits to the EAS compared to the EBS. First of all, you don't need someone reading off a script. So due to the nature of that same tone, the screeching tone, since that's a data stream, computers can just take that data and then read it off. That's where you get that creepy robotic voice. It kind of makes it a little scarier when you have a robot saying just random towns and stuff.
Their service in Indianapolis has issued a tornado warning for northeastern Davies County.
But it's very useful because you don't need someone reading off a script every time there's a tornado or every time there's a severe...
I like that you keep updating it. We've seen so far from just the first one from the 40s, 1940s, was
Thunderstorm Watch or whatever. The National Weather Service could just be like, oh, it's not looking good over in Illinois. We better put in a...
Illinois. I keep pronouncing that wrong. Now we know Illinois.
Storm watch, send it, and then the robot can read it out to everybody. It's very convenient. Of course, many people think about weather when they think of emergency alert systems. They think of...
Wow. Which one is this? Which one is this? I don't remember this one.
Tornadoes, floods, severe weather. It makes sense because that's by far the most common alert that we get. However, on rare occasions, we can get non-weather alerts. Sometimes there's a shelter-in-place alert or a civil danger warning alert. This might be because there's a shooter on the loose or someone has escaped from prison or something. These are pretty rare, obviously, but they are definitely terrifying. But there's a whole list of codes for different alerts, and you can see them on Wikipedia. Like, look at this. Here's the code for nuclear meltdown. We even have volcanoes. Technically, EAS is still meant for national emergencies, just like EBS and...
Do all of you know this? Do all of you that know that EAS is like so fully covered that it covers all the risks? I'm guessing you know because you've been through the thick of it with the storms, with the weather reports, and with everything regarding to that. So I assume that you know the significance of this.
In Conrad back in the day, EAS is meant for like World War III. But it's never been used for that, obviously. And it's only been tested a handful of times. The first time they ever tested it was in November of 2011.
Watching television or you're listening to the radio, you are about to hear it. We're told it will last just 30 seconds.
1370. Oh, there it is. There it is.
And it didn't go super well. If you listen to the test, there's a lot of reverb, there's a lot of echoes.
In your area, had this been an actual emergency, the attention signal...
Not quite how they planned it. Since then, they have improved the system a little bit, and there have been a few other tests. Other countries have their own emergency alert systems. Canada's is very similar to the US's, but the alarm sound is quite intense.
Okay.
Take a listen.
New Amsterdam on Global.
Oh my god, that is so scary. I pray that we never have to go through one of these ones when it comes to war or something super detrimental.
Yeah, that's wild. But not quite as creepy as China's, which has both an alarm and a countdown. Check it out.
Oh my god, the doomsday. No.
Not what I would want to be hearing during the end days.
No.
People are really into emergency alert systems. Like, you go on YouTube and there's all these like mock scenarios of, you know, different... The sun went out. Like, some of them are kind of creepy. Some of them are kind of funny. There was one that was...
Oh my god, the sun is not out. Oh, that's creepy. The sun is not out. That's creepy. Ooh, this guy is showing me so many new worlds. The tornado one and now the emergency alert system.
Don't turn off the lights. Just so creepy, actually.
It's so creepy.
But honestly, EAS is already outdated. I mean, think about it. Who watches TV? Who listens to the radio? Hardly anybody. That's why
That is true. The only thing I watch at home is basically computer and my phone. That is true.
Emergency alert system is slowly being replaced by wireless emergency alerts,
there you go,
or WEAs. That's that classic alarm that you get on your phone if something bad is going on.
crazy. You know, I've never had this in Sweden, but I went to South Korea last year, and we got plenty of emergency alerts of people. I don't know if it was people missing and the weather and stuff like that, but I've never had one in Sweden.
These are used for 3 different reasons. They use them for national emergencies, but they're also used for weather, just like EAS. Here's an example of a tornado warning. And I think they're best known for Amber Alerts. False alarms do happen with WEAs. The classic example being the January 13th, 2018 ballistic missile false alarm in Hawaii.
Oh my God.
Look at this. Could you imagine seeing a message like this on your phone? Terrifying. This was not good. People like freaked out. People.
Oh my God! How do you accidentally false alarm that one?
On the roads, hidden tunnels. A bunch of people took shelter. It was not good. In fact, Vern Miyagi of the Hawaiian Emergency Management Agency stepped down from his role, even though it wasn't even his fault. The whole Hawaiian missile crisis thing is just, it's a weird thing because it's like the only example of what a true red card message would look like how people would actually react to it. Let's just hope that that never happens. Let's hope we never get a true red card national emergency alert. Right, and on that note, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.
A big applause as always to Swaggold Studios. Please subscribe to him. This was interesting. This was a whole new world. I've dropped my pen. That happened. Second day in a row this happened. So I'm getting so many newfound interests here. Both the tornadoes and the storms and everything. And now I want to go and find, was it emergency alert systems, fake scenarios? The one where don't turn the lights off and the sun hasn't risen. That's super scary. That's a cool little niche that we found today. What's your scariest memory of an EAS? I think it's called EAS. And let me know as always what to watch next. Thank you guys. And as always, take care and see you soon.